Hi there. My name is Gage Williams, and I'm a graduate student at Georgia State University, pursuing the Master of Heritage Preservation degree on the Public History track. And for the past several weeks, I've been working on a really exciting project that I'm calling Queer Spaces Atlanta. What Queer Spaces Atlanta is a digital mapping project that seeks to identify and then preserve and present uh, different places of historical significance to the queer communities within Atlanta. My timeline for this project starts around the 1940s and runs through present, um, and it's been a lot to undertake. Recently, what I've been able to put together is the basic framework using the platform of ArcGIS story maps, and we'll jump into that and go through how the platform works and talk a little bit about the plans for the future of the project, and what needs to happen in order to make that goal achievable. So you can see here on the home screen when people first navigate to the site, this is what they're presented with. This is the rainbow crosswalks at 10th and Piedmont in Midtown Atlanta. And as they scroll down, they're presented with the general map of Atlanta. So there's a couple of different layers here that I put on here. And the first one is a map of all the different Atlanta neighborhoods. So if you were to click on it, it'll tell you the neighborhood name. And if you scroll through, it'll say sometimes some of the neighborhoods that are on the borders of it. And if you click on the icons, you can see right now we have two different icons on there. If you don't scroll in far enough, it'll show the neighborhood first, but as you go through the pane, it'll show the different spaces. So in Midtown Atlanta, we have a couple of different spaces. And the first one of those is Piedmont Park, and that is under the tab of Spaces of Pride and Remembrance. And you can see it has a couple of different indicators that I've programmed into here. So the name of the space is Piedmont Park. Of course, it's a park. And for this map, it's most significant for being the culmination of Atlanta Pride. So if we zoom in on the map here, we can see currently on the left-hand side, there's a couple of different tabs. So the general tab is Queer Spaces Atlanta. So this is what it defaults to when the viewers first go to the site. It shows everything. Bars, clubs, and restaurants. The icon there is a little beer. Spaces of Pride and Remembrance is the newer Pride flag. And then Spaces of Violence and Resistance hasn't been fleshed out yet, so no icons show for that. In addition to these icons, of course, if you click on them, it'll tell you the name of the icon. But we also have individual story maps where viewers can go more in depth to the history of those specific places. So if we click on bars and clubs, it'll take us to a different story map. Again, it'll be the same header there. But as we scroll down, we see this map now defaults to show only bars and clubs. And this has been really fun because I've been able to customize a lot of this, including some of the background history on a lot of these clubs. And starting off with Backstreet Atlanta. So as you see, as you scroll down, it comes to a completely different pane. And if I hover over this icon here, I can click on it, and I'll bring up that full map there so you get the whole scale. And it has an icon of Backstreet Atlanta, which is the bar that I've been focusing and a lot of my research on currently. So we can exit out of this map a little bit, minimize it rather, and scroll down. And you can see I haven't fleshed out the background information here. But as we scroll down, we can see kind of a photo archive of the different events that happened at Backstreet Atlanta. I'm currently in the works of collecting oral histories for this club, which is really exciting. It closed down in 2004, so pretty recently on the historical record of all the other gay bars and clubs in the city. And now if we go back to our main page here, we can scroll down and click on Explore Pride and Remembrance. Now this pane I have fleshed out a little bit more than the other one. But again, really similar layout. I really wanted that cohesive feel as you navigate between the different panes. You can scroll down and you can see more fleshed out map, and then we get to Piedmont Park. So again, you can hover over Piedmont Park and it pulls up a picture with a summary on there. And we scroll down and we can see more of a photo archive. Now, what I would like to see this project continue into is a long-term collection of a lot of other spaces. I would like to bring other experts in, other historians. What I've found researching is that this information is out there. These spaces have been identified. There have been uh, archival materials collected about these spaces, but they're either out of date on an online platform that is not navigable, or is not attractive, or is unfindable, or hasn't been publicized well. And my goal is to really bring this out into the community, so that this queer history of Atlanta becomes just as commonplace as other significant histories in Atlanta, like our Coca-Cola, um, or civil rights. I believe that this is just as important, but it's not being presented that way. So I think my next challenge is to try to figure out how do we get more backing for this project, to sustain it long term, and how do we present that out into the public in a way that is comfortable for people to find it, and share it with their friends. And I think the story map platform is good for now. In the future, I'd like to see this hosted on its own website. Of course, that would mean bringing on more techie people with more advanced skills than me, to be able to translate all of that onto a separate platform. But so far, I think that I've got a really good undertaking here. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm excited to see where it goes. Thank you.